Hi, friend. Welcome to today's program. I recently had the privilege of having Joe Scheidler here in my studio, and I believe this is the 7th episode. We were together sitting here with the curtain drawn for over 3 hours, and it was just so wonderful. If you missed the other portions, any of them, and you want to see them, you can go to our website. In today's little chat, we talk about history, the history of Operation Rescue. History is written by victors. Often, it's written by those who were defeated, if the record of it can be squirreled away. But, for example, the history of the civil rights movement is a huge part of our culture, as it should be. And part of that is because they prevailed. They broke the back of the Jim Crow laws. They broke the back of segregation. They broke the back of the white Democrats keeping black people from voting in southern states. They prevailed. And so it's a part of our fiber. But there are portions of history where the protagonists were right, but they lost. And that portion of history is all but lost. I don't want that to happen with Operation Rescue and the pro-life movement. So today we talk about Operation Rescue, some things that you may not know, because we didn't win. They're still killing babies. Enjoy the program. We're 25 years past Operation Rescue's heyday. Why should people know about it today?
Because it was an earth-shattering invention, the rescue movement. It brought abortion to the attention of the American people like nothing else, except maybe Roe v. Wade announcement itself being a big shock. But it brought focus on the killing of children as a crime committed by our society. And it changed the whole tenor of the movement, and I think it changed more people than we'll know until we find out in the next world. People that actually began to think of abortion as a major issue, a major problem, a major evil in our society. I really think the rescue movement did that, and reference to it, memories of it, are talking about it 25 years later, has a very positive effect. It was a good thing. It was a necessary thing. And it is something that I think changed the whole direction of the abortion binge in this country. It made it obvious that people cared, that this was a real issue and would stay an issue.
In 1987, before the election of George Bush the Elder, child killing, when they polled the American people, child killing was not in the top 10 voter concerns. Did not show up in the top 10. And on election day 1988, a year later, the ABC exit poll in Atlanta showed that abortion was the #1 voter issue. And that was because all those rescues and all the protests and all the constant front page stories and...
Absolutely. It became an issue. And that's one of the most important things we had to do. Just keep turning to it. Keep turning people's attention on it. Whether we did it right, whether we did it wrong, whether it was the best way or the poor way, it kept it an issue. It made it an issue, and it kept it an issue. It had to be. It was so important. It was so devastating to our society, we couldn't overlook it. And they wanted to. The media wanted to hide it. Politicians wanted to hide it. The abortionists, of course, wanted to hide it. But we made it visible, and we kept it visible.
I often tell people, I have people come up and congratulate me for my work in the pro-life movement, and I turn to them and say, we failed. We didn't succeed. Our goal was to make it a crime again to kill babies. Recently, a friend of mine kind of rebuked me and said, you need to stop saying that, because you did accomplish some things and it's not over yet. Do you have that tug of war going on in your soul?
I don't have it as much as you do, because I watched you even during the heydays, and you were more negative toward what you wanted to accomplish and accomplishing it than we were. I saw great things happening when you would be complaining, and I thought, this guy doesn't get it. He's moving the country, and he wants to move it maybe more obviously, maybe more suddenly, maybe more completely, but he's doing it. He's doing it. And they say anything worth doing is worth doing poorly. Well, I don't say you did it poorly. You may not have done it perfectly, but you did it. And the attention was drawn to abortion, and is still on it. You can't get away from it. It's still an issue. Everybody has to let their position be known. That's an accomplishment right there.
Thank you. It's hard for me. I really thought we'd have prevailed by now. I know that. I thought that we would. And 91 is where the moment came when we went to Wichita, went up to see Bush in Maine, and Judge Kelly was hammering us in Wichita, and I think that's where we blinked. I think that's the moment that we started to lose the momentum. When Judge Kelly told all those pastors, he said, I'm going to take your churches, I'm going to take your daycare centers, I'm going to take your Christian schools. And there was a collective, okay, we'll back off. I felt like that was, and then when they passed FACE, the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act, that broke our back. You know, the lawsuits piling up was one factor. And then the blinking in Wichita, and then the passage of FACE under Bill Clinton, that really dropped the hammer on us.
Those were all incidents in an overall picture. It was going to happen eventually. You weren't going to get away with that forever. I think it served its purpose. It was effective. It's still remembered, and it didn't end the battle. It changed it. But you still have people coming in, fighting, writing, going to the clinics, talking to the women, your crisis pregnancy centers, the literature, the books. The issue's alive. We went through a phase. Maybe that was only supposed to be a phase of an overall movement. I didn't feel as despondent or at a loss as maybe you did. I kind of saw that coming, and I was surprised it didn't come sooner.